Why hello there, fellow farmers. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers Brutal Vulcan. Episode 29. A little too hasty for a change of taste. Out of water warning. So the next time I use up oxygen, it's going to be to make water. It's not going to be to flush more oxygen into the base for a breathable base. Because I need more water. I could probably use the water that's like stuck in this here, the 2 liters there, but I'll just make more water. So the way the cable analyzer works is interesting in that I actually don't need the batteries themselves on my network. I can just have the cable analyzer on the network, like this, which actually keeps the network a little cleaner. It's not a big deal because I already have all my solar panels and everything else on the network. Oh, right, this cable analyzer is not actually plugged in, so I'll do that. So there we go. This cable analyzer, now, what it can read, here, let me pause the game, is the following information. So it can read the power potential, the power actual, the power required. So how much power it potentially provides, how much energy the device is actually using, how much is being requested. So what we want to do is take the power potential, and then if we get the kit batteries, each kit battery can hold a certain amount of power. Each station battery stores up to that much power. So, that is 0.000063. So that's 3.6 megawatts times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I have 5 batteries. So that is 18 megawatts of power, or 1800000. So I'm going to need a memory chip for that. And I don't want to leave my cable analyzer here because I'm going to trip over this thing like a bajillion times if I leave it there. So let's... put it there, I guess? I don't know if that's any better. But whatever. That's where I'm putting it. Okay, so let's get that memory unit. So for this, we need a memory to hold the value of the total capacity of all batteries. And then we need math, a reader, and a writer. So the memory is 18 million. The math is dividing the current power divided by the total. And then we need logic, a reader to read the cable analyzer's current power. And then the writer to write the math value to that LED there. which can stay green. I mean, green seems like power. How many cables do I have? I'm going to need more cables, probably. I'll just install this outside on the wall. Seems like a reasonable spot. Do I need a reader per battery? Nope. Because the cable analyzer is kind of getting the sum of all of it. It's analyzing all of those batteries all up in one. That's why I did it that way, with the cable analyzer. So the cable analyzer adds another device to it, but it is... it will summarize all of it. So in fact, how about I just show you? Again, we'll do a little quick proof of concept. So this logic reader is going to grab the cable analyzer, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. So, find the cable analyzer, which should be in the C's. Actually, I didn't name it, right? Yeah, it's not named. Cable analyzer. So, power potential. No. It's power required. No. Actually... this is not the right data. And let me move this outside. I'm trying to think of the actual data I want for this. I gotta figure out a better way to test stuff, because I keep like cutting into my networks. Alright, before I go back outside, let's top this up. Oops, that was my battery. This up. So what actual information do I want? Let's grab my network analyzer. That's not it. So here has its... oh, yeah, maybe it is potential. Well, no, it should be higher than that. Yeah, okay. The cable analyzer is... I see. The cable analyzer needs to be installed here for the potential. I didn't need the data ports. Because this is downwind of the, or down cable of the area power controller, so it's reading the wrong data. So it was set up wrong. I done made a mistake. I'll just expose the data of the batteries on the network. Actually, you know what? Do I even need that? I am not sure I do. I can always rewire it up if I do need it, but for this project I might not, so I'm just going to remove it. Alright, let's make sure that no of the logic is in error state, because I did just turn things on and off. Solar tracking still seems to be working, so it looks fine. Alright, I can install the logic on the walls here. That makes sense. So now this cable analyzer, C is the potential megawatts. All my batteries are full, so that's 18 megawatts, which is exactly the calculations we just figured out, right? It's 18 million watts of potential power. So, memory. We have a memory unit, which will be 18 million. Let's see, can I paste? Yep. 18 million. And then we have the processor. Let's do the IOs first. So logic reader. logic writer, and math unit. So this will be, I don't, battery cable, it's a cable analyzer for everything, but we'll call it battery cable analyzer. Battery percent logic reader. Battery percent logic memory. And everything else. Alright. Cable wire up time. Wiring it up is a little weird in that the data has to come into this network. But not, this is power, and I want to keep that separate because otherwise I'm going to have like fiery explosion, death, etc. Bad times. So the cable analyzer is powered from this, but the data gets pulled off here. So this, this here has no power. It's unpowered. And I want it that way, because otherwise it's connecting to the wrong things. So what I'm trying to say is these cables need power from somewhere. Where do I even have power exposed? Because it can't be here, because that's up route. So maybe what I do is run a cable up from here and back out. There we go. Inelegant, but like, it'll work. Why is this? I never outgassed that. So I hope what I just did makes sense, because I didn't want to run. Just to explain it a little bit better, these batteries here can potentially output 18 megawatts, but my cables can't handle anything more than 5 megawatts, so I do not want the power cables on these batteries to touch anything but this. So the cable analyzer separates the data and the power. So this cable analyzer here is sending the data, but not the power. Because if it sent the power, then I would blow out my cables. So here, as you can see, the potential is 293 kilowatts, which is what is available from the area power controller, and not the 18 million watts or the 18 megawatts. So as you can see, these two cable networks are totally separate by design, or otherwise I'd run into explosion problems. All right. So logic reader needs to read the cable analyzer, the battery cable analyzer. So input. Oh, I screwed up the install. Hold on. Pretend I didn't do that. We'll put the memory. That's ugly. I'll just put the memory there. I'm gonna have to rewrite the value to it, but that's fine. Alright, battery percent logic memory is done. Alright, let's try this again. So the input here is going to be the battery cable analyzer, and we will read the power potential, which should be just shy 18 million. I'm actually surprised it's not, but I guess there's like a rounding thing or something. I don't really know. But that's how much power. Actually, yeah, I want power potential. So power potential is the total amount of power that can be sent, which is just shy of max. Then the math is going to be the battery percent logic reader for input 1. And then logic 2 is going to be wired up. I keep doing that. go. And this is going to be the memory. And then the output is going to be divide. And we are 98% filled, right? 9.98 is 98%, which seems about right. Then the writer, the input to this will be the battery percent logic math. And then the output is going to be the LED, which I have no idea what I named it. Battery charge percent for its setting. Okay, let's go see if it works. I don't think did I save it as a setting? As a percentage? I don't think I did, so I'll have to fix that. Yep, so there it is. I just need to write settings to it, which is fine. So let's get memory and I/O. Why does memory not need a second connection? It doesn't. The data ports are on either side, so it's redundant. Memory and logic I/O. I'm almost critical hydration. I'll just water myself now. Oh, speaking of water, I gotta make some. Yep. Ooh, I don't have very much.
Hydration critical.
Well, I'll make what I can. Which is that. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be cautious with my oxygen usage. I mean, it's 17% pressurized oxygen now, but I'm gonna need a lot more. I'm gonna need a lot more oxygen in the room to, you know, have it breathable or whatever. How much CO2 have we filtered out? 1.7. Okay, so we have a lot of CO2. What is the temp of the CO2? It is reasonable. Oxygen, we have none. Why do I... Oh, this is off. That explains a lot. Where did my oxygen... I must have just turned that off. Oh, my gas mixer's still on. Okay, okay. We're fine. Nothing is abnormal. I forgot I had the gas mixer on. I was wondering why I wasn't filling up with oxygen. Okay, time to hydrate. I know I don't have any water. It's fine. We're making some now. Might be the lowest water I've had in a while. But that's because we're trying to oxygenate the base, but I didn't expand oxygen generation, so we're just stretching the oxygen a bit too thin. Pun, let's say, intended. So, let's make sure the power percent here is reading as a percentage, which is pretty easy to do. So this is just temporary setup so that we can make it read as a %. And I think this is going to be really handy just to be able to glance at the thing and be like, oh, we are at X, Y, or Z power in the base. Alright. LEDs. So, console. Mode 1. Or, well, yeah, because we want it as a %, not kilowatt power. Not power, so yeah, mode 1. So this is going to be value 1. Input here. Oh, let's name these. Bang! Alright, input. Actually, where is bang? Crap. I thought it would be at the top of the alphabet, but apparently it's not. For real? Oh, there it is. Logic memory. Output is going to be the battery charge %. And I should name this better. Battery charge % LED. It's useful to know what it is. And then... there we go. So our batteries are at 87%. I'm actually pretty satisfied with just knowing percentage without having to do power generation and the whole rest of it. So maybe that's all I'll do for the scope of the power project. We can do the percentage of the power generation and power usage some other time. I don't think that's vital at the moment. So the next project I want to do, because polling is still borked, is storm warning. Because I don't want to be caught up in a storm unexpectedly. I don't even have storage left, so I'm just going to put these here. They're going to be part of the storm warning system anyway, so I don't... that's just putting them there temporarily. So for the storm warning system, we need a weather station. And a weather station needs 3 plastic sheets for completion, which we'll have to print up because I got 2 of them. But my silicon's in here. And the way the weather station works is pretty straightforward. It either has a countdown for incoming storm or not, essentially. It will make more sense once I have it built and draw logic from it. But it gives you a heads up if a storm's incoming, like a countdown timer. Which is pretty handy to avoid death. And the reason I'm doing this is I'd like to know when storms are coming, and that's another heads-up display I can put right above the power. So we'll have like a line of power here, and then like storm stuff up there. So it's just more data, which I think is can save my life. Because if I got caught out in like an ash storm and I was not near the base, that could be fatal. I will, as part of this project, also hook up a beacon. And the beacon will be on when the outer airlock is open. So we'll also do that section as well. I will put my weather station here. Oh, no, that's a bad spot. Rotated. There. I don't want the data touching the big batteries. Okay, there's the weather station. Now, the weather station does require a decent amount of power to run, I think. Oh, is it only 10 watts? Never mind, I take it back. I was thinking of something else then. 10 watts is nothing. There we go. And light green is good. Light yellow or red is bad. So I don't have any storms incoming because we have a green light. But that's not enough. Because I don't want to just, like, see a light. I want actual data. So, let's go ahead and get said data. So I'm going to want a console for it. And actually, I'm going to maybe color code it too. So speaking of which, I think what I'll do is have this stuff permanently installed because I tend to use it a lot. So this is going to be just labeled nonsensically !A, logic memory, and logic writer. And this is so that I can set up LED panels, and I'll just leave it installed. I'll just have to remember it's like set up that way. Oops. There we go. Alright, so let's print a console. And this console is going to be the LED console to read incoming storm data. Which I only need the one console. And it will become an LED screen. I'll put the LED screen. Well, I'd want it here, but the power connector is going to be covered, won't it? I don't think that's valid. No, yeah, okay, it bumps up against it. All right, that's fine. Here maybe. I just want it in my face every time I cycle the airlock. So it doesn't really matter exactly where it is, just as long as it's like very in my face so I can see if the timer is ticking down. So there we go. And as far as the LED screens go, we are going to want default is fine. Because if I have it in seconds, minutes, or days, it gets a little weird. We could do it in seconds. Actually, maybe we'll do mode 7 for seconds. So it's like a seconds of countdown. So let's label it and then write mode 7 to it. So this is storm LED. And then let's not have steel bouncing around on the ground. So the memory will be at 7. And then the input for this device is basically always going to be that same memory. And now you know why I labeled it so weird, because it's really easy to find. So the storm LEDs mode. 0 second. Alright, the other part that I want to do is its color. So, color... let's say... red? So color 4. Oops. So I'll put color 4. Okay. Sweet. And now you see why I just have that installed like that. So I can just tinker with the LED panels as needed. All right. So obviously this isn't working because it's not wired up yet. So we're going to want a logic reader to read data from the weather station and a logic writer to write to the storm LED. If you don't think the red is all that readable, I could change the color to... Yeah, I mean, red's pretty readable. It's not that hard. It's, yeah. There's a little bit of glare when I get close, but it's going to be very obvious when it has numbers. Because basically, if 0, it's fine. I can look outside. I have a window. Right? So if 0, it's not a problem. It's just when it's not 0, that it is a problem. And this will make more sense, like, when I actually have a storm. Yeah, it looks readable. I think it looks readable. But yeah, storm warning system is very helpful when you have dangerous storms in the game. Oh, you know, I haven't done trades in a while. Before I continue with this, let's do Galactic Gravels. I kind of want to... I'll do a Sprout Supplier. Who knows what they got. Alright, so storm warning. I'll start over here. This will be the reader and writer. All right, you. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Wheat. Soybean. Buy. Buy. All right, if you're wondering why, let me pause the game for a moment. Bread. Bread is flour and soy oil in a microwave or oven. Flour is just reagent processed wheat. So I just bought the seeds to make bread. I don't want potatoes no more. Bread, better. Bread, much better. Bread is a quality best for plus 75% hydration capacity. I won't have to hydrate as much if I eat bread. So I'm going to start growing bread instead of potatoes. Sorry, Mark Watney, but I'm improving. I'm moving up. This game seems very complicated. Yeah, I mean, I won't lie, it is. So input weather station variable is going to be its next weather event time. So the next weather event time, if you're wondering, for the weather station is like the countdown to when you'll have another inbound weather. So when it's 0, it's just there isn't an inbound weather event. and it gives you about 10 minutes warning. So when there's a weather event, it will count down from like 600 seconds or 800 seconds, something like that. It's a little random, but basically when there's a countdown, it will have some sort of number. Has the trader something that they could buy? Yeah, let me check that too. And all I have to do is write that to the console, and that's it. Cake, burger, bulk water, bulk carbon dioxide. I mean, I could sell bulk carbon dioxide, but it's not a lot of money, and it would be a kind of a setup to start exporting gases, so I'm not gonna bother. For a second, I thought, that's the same sound as the ash storm. I was like, God damn it. But no, it's fine. All right, so the input here is going to be the Logic Storm Reader. And then the output is going to be the Storm LED and its setting. Done. That's it. Now the only other question is, I'm fine with it because like if it's 0 seconds, it means there just isn't inbound weather. I could understand the argument where it's like 0 seconds seems weird because it seems like there's like a weather event going on. And what we could do is have some sort of like logic where like if 0, turn off the LED, if not 0, turn on the LED, so this thing turns on or off depending on whether there's a weather event. I don't care that much, but if you do, I'll let you pull on that. Should the storm LED turn off when no storm? Yes or no? It would just be a little bit more logic. I can afford it power-wise. It's up to you guys.
Hydration critical.
I know. I'm hydrating. Jeez, game. Jeez. All right. The next priority, depending on the result of this poll, is going to be to start actually planting those new seeds so I can have some beautiful water. Or beautiful bread. I mean. Can we read no storm from the weather station? No storm is just like when it's 0. So yeah, I mean, if the setting is 0, it means no storm incoming. But I can't write, like, if I wanted, you can't write like, There's not, so the LEDs here, you can't just like write language to easily. So when it's 0, it's already no storm. So the only change, the poll is basically, should this thing just turn off automatically when there's no storm and only turn on when there's a storm? That's essentially the poll. If that makes sense. Because I'm not confused by it saying 0 seconds, but like if it does confuse you, I could fix that. All right, no. I'll just leave it on all the time. Wheat. Soy. Burn. Alright, we're planning bread material, hypothetically. The only thing I want to check... Oh, right. Crap. I totally forgot. Soybeans need nitrogen in the atmosphere to grow. Let me fix that. Ghetto style. I'm going to temporarily uninstall this passive vent because I haven't set up a system for it not to filter out the nitrogen in the room. I have to fix this. So, fix the farm for nitrogen. It's going to be a bigger project than I had initially anticipated. Also, let me make sure I didn't screw up my filtering, because I could have that, because I kind of did that rushed. When gas comes through here, it feeds to the oxygen filter. And if it's oxygen, it goes in there. And when it's not oxygen, it goes here. Which dumps back to the room. Oh, it's fine. I've already designed it so that it doesn't suck carbon dioxide out of the room. Cool. So I don't really, I didn't need to uninstall the passive vent. My worry is that we would actively pull the nitrogen out of the room and like, yeah, that's just not how I designed it, so it's fine. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeer's Brutal Vulcan, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Vulcan survivors.